So I accidentally swore kind of in my last video, and it comes at a time when there's a new YouTube policy that strictly limits profanity coming out. That will probably get revoked and made more flexible just because that's what always happens when YouTube introduces a new stupid policy. But it got me thinking about the swears. Those words of profanity. I had a class in college. It was a speech class, and I give a darn good speech. I was actually a state champion. I gave a state championship winning speech in senior year of high school. So I totally owned that class. I did a great job on every single speech. Very thorough. Even if what I was saying was crap as I look back in hindsight and disagree with a lot of things that I said, I presented it well, and I could make you think that it was legitimate. One of the things that I did was give a persuasive speech on why the gripe against profanity is often unwarranted. Giving a lot of reasons from, context of words is more important than the words themselves. We assign arbitrary value to words. I mean, just as we assign a value to the word car, we assign it to XYZ other thing. And also that we can't be overly mindful of who we're offending when we speak. We could be somewhat mindful, but if somebody really wants to try that hard never to offend anybody, they better be careful never to state a political belief, a religious belief, or a general opinion on any situation whatsoever, because somebody with a conflicting view would be offended by it. Got my mouth running on a little rabbit hole there, because I do still feel pretty passionately about that. Interesting coming from a guy who kind of makes a concerted effort not to swear. But I think swear words are important, and in my day-to-day I will swear quite often. For me as a kid, I was the swear police when I was a little kid. I would literally flick my mom or my sister in the head whenever they said a bad word around me. It was honestly just a way of me being a jerk, because of course inciting physical pain upon somebody, minor though it may be, that's so much better than somebody just saying a four-letter word, right? I had a very backwards logic as a child. That didn't last that long, especially because in middle school, I remember there was just this one particular conversation. It was like 6th grade, maybe late 5th grade even, where I'm hanging around my friends, and somebody just says the F word. And then another person is just like, oh, so we have permission in this group to say the F word in this little private group at recess. So he says something bad too, and then I just say it too, and we just have this whole profanity-laden conversation. That was very silly and childish, but it's a wonderful memory because it was very, very liberating to just take those restraints off of what I was allowed to say for a little while. And of course, I'd be back around my teachers, around my parents and stuff, and, I'd tone it way down, even though my dad didn't tone it down in the slightest, but that's its own thing. Swear words offered a certain level of freedom and opened up a brand new world of my subconscious, just even my conscious brain that I was allowed to suddenly explore. And I'd swear in very silly, forced, stupid ways just for the sake of swearing a lot of the time. As I think a lot of people still do, and I can do sometimes. But it was a real striving for freedom and a real opening up of a new world for me. I read in this book called The Denial of Death, it talks a bit about fetishes are man striving for freedom in their own way, because it's pursuing things that people constantly put the big X over and say, no, don't cross that. Is that what the XXX means? Is it like red tape blocking you from going there? I don't know. But yeah, swear words are kind of a striving for freedom, and they open up a brand new world for you. They open up a brand new world of your communication and just the general way that you perceive the world. It's been shown that swear words are even stored in a different part of the brain than other words. And that's why a lot of the time one of my caregiving clients is a stroke victim. I don't like that word, but he suffered a stroke. And now the only words that he can say are yeah, no, and swear words, because swear words are just that perfectly kept intact away from the world of all these other words. Now, the way that I've sort of combated that as I've gotten older and I've realized that I do need to articulate my point a little bit more, as Malcolm X said, rather than just throw out some profanity. I've just learned to find the joy in everyday words. Or, keep my own personal lexicon up here of, ooh, I heard that word, that's really interesting. And so I use that to break into a brand new world and find my freedom. I just learned the word onerous. I don't even think that's a crazy out there word, but it's always exciting when you add something new to your vocabulary. And it's nice to know that swear words are always sitting there waiting for you. If your coworkers snitch on you at work and you have to go talk to your supervisor for some stupid frickin' reason, not that that has any personal resonance